Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new market update. And today we're going to do a few topics. One of them is going to be Bitcoin, one of them is going to be Ethereum and what's next, and one of them is Dogecoin, as I've already received a ton of DMs with people asking what they should do with the losses that they have made on Dogecoin. But before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe beneath, also like this YouTube video and comment if you want to see some special content, as during the previous weekend we've done the first educational video regarding the importance of altcoin Bitcoin pairs. So if you didn't check that out yet, please do it on the YouTube channel. You can find it on my profile page. Also tonight at 19:30 Central European time, we're going to have a new live stream in which we're going to discuss everything that's happening in the markets, also your questions and also requests that you might be having if you are holding some spot positions in altcoins. So let's jump towards Bitcoin, as that's the first topic of this small update. What's the idea here of the expectations of the markets? Well, I've made this quickly, and I think we're still going to have such a squiggly for the coming period, as the red area is pretty much the critical breakthrough to go forward with. And at this stage, it doesn't seem likely that we're actually going to break through it. Why is it the critical breaker for me? Well, if you look at the entire construction of the price, we can see that this is the final breaker before the price started to nosedive. And we can see that since then, we are testing this level many times. So if we're going to break through this resistance zone, or we're going to break through this breaker, I think we're going to make new all-time highs for Bitcoin. Most likely altcoins will have some pain. However, what's happening currently is that altcoins are doing really well, which means that people are selling their Bitcoin towards altcoins. And I think that will continue to do so for the coming period, given that altcoins are just ready to outperform Bitcoin heavily. So this is the critical breaker for me. I'm not assuming we're going to have a breakthrough through it yet. If we do, you know the idea. If we're not going to have such a breakout, I think we're going to have a further corrective move, or at least some more sideways action, which would be beneficial for altcoins. So this is the idea that I have. Don't pinpoint me on the time. That's never going to be happening like this. So I think it will probably be for a few months, and then in July we break out. And Ethereum, but like in the meantime, we're going to have strength on altcoins, and Ethereum is one of the altcoins, or one of the other ones, doing really well, as we can see that we're going vertical with Ethereum. So does this mean that you should be entering Ethereum at this stage? Of course not. I've been claiming this every time when something goes vertical. People are excited to jump on something that goes vertical, expecting it to go further up. Why? Well, they see titles like mine and they expect it to go further. However, if you see a title like this on my YouTube channel, you know that I'm just saying it because I'm expecting that to happen. However, I always claim that it's not an entry. While watching some other YouTubers, they claim that it's going there straight from this level. Same with Dogecoin going to $2, $3, $5, whatever. So with Ethereum, you know that this is simply not an entry point at this stage. So your entry is gone. So what is your perspective or your idea right now on Ether? Well, you can look and define the levels that you want to enter. But secondly, you want to look for something that didn't make this vertical run yet. And you're going to look at other altcoins or large caps that are ready to make such a run, as Ether is usually the signal, and when Ether starts to calm down, you know that the rest will follow suit. So Ethereum against Bitcoin, that's the more easy chart to look at. We can see that we've cracked this resistance zone, we flipped it for support, the 0.59 level, and we are now facing the next level of resistance, which is this entire region here. I'm not assuming that we're going to have a breaker through it in one go, but it's a nice vertical run, and I think we're going to top out relatively soon on Ether in this range for some period of sideways action. What are the levels to watch for Ethereum right now for any entry point? It's getting a little complex given the fact that we're running vertical. It shows you that when something starts to run as an altcoin, it's very hard to get into it, so you have to take the entry and it's not in the spotlight. So this is a probably good entry point for some day trading purposes on the daily time frame, and we also have a critical area here that is very interesting to watch for any buy the dip purposes. However, when we get in anything of these range, I think that we are having Bitcoin running massively already. So at this stage, Ether is not an entry point, but we know that some of those bigger altcoins are still ready to make a run, and one of them is XLM. But we also see that Binance Coin and Litecoin and Cardano are doing really well. So XLM is ready to make this breaker, and we can see that the block to hold didn't receive a test, but the previous high got a test, through which continuation is very much likely to happen, given the fact that multiple tests of the resistance zone have been done. So if we break this resistance area, once again, you can assume that any of these levels here are interesting to watch for a potential take profit level. And I think that we're going to make that runner back towards the construction that we have here. So the final topic that I want to discuss today, it's Dogecoin. And I've made an update last week in which I said, is Dogecoin an entry right now? No, it was not. Most likely you should have been shorting it through the show, as it's the obvious buy the rumor, sell the news. What should you do right now? Well, the mass has been buying when they were expecting it to do another run. What's the best case right now? Well, I'm assuming that the hype is going to fade away. In the best case scenario, anything in this region we're going to hold, just like we have done here, go sideways for about a month, and then we start to break out again. Worst case scenario, we lose this support area as such a structure, and we just die down. That would be the best case scenario for Dogecoin at this stage, as I'm quite done personally with all those memes. What to do with your position? Well, if you are very experienced, you can day trade with it and probably break it towards break even. However, if you are in a position since here and you are asking yourself what you should do, then probably you don't have enough experience to day trade. So best thing to do right now with Dogecoin, I guess, is cut the loss, move on, start evaluating why you did what you did, start improving yourself, and start becoming a person that is a few steps ahead of everyone instead of behind. Because if you are a few steps ahead of a few people, you beat them. So that's the game. Trading is a game. And if you start understanding the mechanics or dynamics in the markets, you start to learn and improve yourself, and in the end also your portfolio. So what's the level for me to watch for Doge? It's entirely this region. I do not expect another big move to happen on this one. I think that we're going to see other altcoins taking the spotlight rather than Dogecoin. So that's my very short update for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tonight in the live stream. And don't forget to subscribe beneath.